Welcome to Steve Robb Reviews. Today's video is going to be all about installing a tube in a tubeless tire rim assembly for a snowblower. And the first thing I like to say is, when you have a tubeless tube and rim assembly, it's not designed to put a tube in. And there's some things you have to really consider before you even try to put one in. And in my experience, the first thing you have to do is take the tire right off, like I did right here. And I'm going to show you why it was never engineered to put a tube in. But yes, you can put a tube in it if you take these precautions. So let's go over to the bench here and I'll show you why you just can't break the bead, slip a tube in there and figure that it's all going to be good, because it won't. So let's come over to the bench. Let's take a look. So this is just your regular snowblower rim, and when you want to find out what kind of tube you have to put in a tire, well, you just go around the outside here and you look for the size. So this is 4.10 by, and this is a 6-inch tire, and here's the rim. Now you have to take this valve stem out, obviously, to put a tube in, so that's already been done. But I just want to show you here the reason why these were never designed for a tube. And if you can take a look here, see all this weld spatter and rust, like these pieces here. So could you just imagine stuffing a tube in there? Well, it's nice if it was all nice and smooth and polished like this, but when you get around to this side where most of them are going to be rusty and you see all the weld slag here and pitting, well, you have to clean that up first, because it will rub on here and you'll just waste your $10 putting in a tube. So I'm going to clean this up first, and all I'm going to do is just use a little bit of a pick hammer and just chop the large hunks off, and then wire wheel the rest, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've got it all wire wheeled and everything, but you can see that there's some splatter still there. And especially chunks like this is very hard to get off. But I'm going to show you the resolve I do, and I do this on every one of the rims that are tubeless, and I'm going to put a tube in it. And I think it's a good thing to do. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this done before, but I'll bring you back when this is all finished. Okay, so there we go. Just some regular electrical tape, and you put that in, wrap it all the way around. I just got my X-Acto knife and just cut out where the valve stem goes. And that's pretty much it right there. So that's not hard to do, and you can see how that just coats it in there. So when you put your tube in, well, it's not going to get all hung up on little bits of slag. And as well, remember, as time goes by, you will get rust in here, right? And that's what actually destroys your tube, is over time you'll get rust in here, and just the rust particles rubbing against the tube, yeah, it'll cause a leak. So this is a good protective cheap alternative, and it's so easy to do. So now we just take this and we'll mount the tire on. Well, we're back, and I just thought I'd let you know, if you're going to put a tire on, get some of this bead lube. It makes it so much easier. You'll be struggling to put a tire on, and these are the only tools I use to put a tire on. And it's not that hard. You can just use some screwdrivers. You'll get it on. But now we're just going to slip the tube in here and have the valve stem come out. So I'll bring you back when that's over. Okay, so I got the tube all stuffed in there, and just put some air in. And that's pretty much right there. Now, I am going to share some tips exactly why I put the tube in the first place. and then I'm going to explain a little bit about how I put the tube in. Okay, so let's just start first of all. The first thing you want to do is put your valve stem up and put that in first. And do not buy one of them that has a steel like valve stem that comes up here. Get one with the rubber that comes all the way up and looks like a regular, you know, tubeless type. Put that in first, and then yeah, you're going to need your gloves and smother it with the lube, because remember, this was actually made to be tubeless. So you got to pinch down the tire, put and stuff it in, you know, as you go along. So it took me about 10 minutes to actually do this, to put the tube in. So now I'm going to show you the main reason why I put a tube in. And one of the reasons is to go and buy one of these tires is about $40. And I'll show you the reason why these tires have to have a tube put in them. So I'll take you off the tripod and I'll show you. Well, there's the reasons right there. As you can obviously see, as the tires age, you get these cracks and splits and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I imagine a lot of you are wondering, so is there any alternatives to use besides putting in a tube? Well, let's talk about that for a second. Okay, so it's the middle of the winter like me, and this has gone flat on you. You know the reason why it's gone flat is because of all them cracks in the tires, and the tire's actually old, right? It's an old machine. You want to spend $40. A lot of people would say they're going to go for this stuff that you just squirt inside and, you know, coats the tire on the inside and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you have luck with that, let me know, because I've never had any luck with it, especially when it's cold in the middle of the winter. The best I've ever seen is it slows it down, but everywhere you go, you can see a track of green or whatever color it is that you're jamming in there. For me, this is the best alternative. If you can take a tire off, put the tire on, it's not that hard, stuff a tube in there, put some air in, and you're done for a long time. And the main thing is, put that tape in there first. Now, if you're thinking about, okay, so that tape's going to all come apart, right, over time? Well, not really, because I've taken some apart that I've done this to, and yeah, the tape is still there, and the tube has forced it to stay in that position. So it does make a huge difference. Don't try just buying a tube and sticking it in there, because yeah, you might get away with it for maybe a little while, and then you'll notice that you got leaks, and you're back to the same thing where your tire's always going flat on you. You do it this way, and you've pretty well just resolved your problem and any future problems that you're going to have with tires leaking. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe a lot of people maybe didn't know that they should wrap some tape on the inside, because, you know, a lot of times I've seen people just stuff a tube in there. They never realized that there's all kinds of weld slag in there, and just the rust itself is enough to cause leaks. So thanks for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe and see some more things just like this. Cheers.